we're recording now, so if you guys want to say more incriminating shit.
Your social security number was? Say that
That's
one more time.
right,
Yeah.
I started at 500, but I like kept it around there.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
Like 650 to 800. I think on some of the networks I did, but
yeah, we're talking about Jeff's personal rate, by the way. For what, we'll let you decide.
TBD.
But yeah, TBD there.
Yeah, TBD. Incredible. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing too
Yeah,
nefarious.
super great, sketchy way to start out
Right.
this one.
You
I
do
think.
the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna keep all this in mind.
Is it? Yeah, honestly, we probably
Amazing.
should. It'd be great. I think people will enjoy it. Gets a little sense of like what we're actually like, which I don't think there's much of a filter on our presence here.
That's right.
Otherwise, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
Topics for today. So here, how about this? I think let's just try this. I'm going to mention like 2 or 3 things that are top of mind for me in AI. I want to hear 2 or 3 things that are top of mind for you.
Yeah.
And then we can battle for which ones we talk about.
That sounds great.
Okay. I only have 2 for today right now. So
Amazing.
number 1, people have been raving in Slack about this session you did with the support team,
Okay.
where apparently Jeff just dropped tons of gold.
Mhm.
It was maybe recorded, maybe not. Like 7 people asked,
knows?
and
Yeah.
we still don't know the answer to it. So we've been asked to maybe bring that conversation back in a more structured way for this format. So that seems obvious and top of mind.
Yep.
And then number 2 is that, I don't know if you saw the article on the percentage of conversations with Claude being used for effective conversation, effective with an A, right?
Okay.
So basically like
I see.
3% of all Claude conversations are some percentage of like therapy, personal work, love, some like romantic fantasy, sexual fantasy stuff, but that's a minor percentage.
Elon's waifus, like the
Exactly.
yeah, it's just
So that's a big one. And then actually I do have 3. I think the third biggest one that's like tech news relevant.
Yeah.
This this whole Windsurf drama
sure.
with the whole OpenAI, not OpenAI, Google Gemini stuff. We could just shoot the shit on that.
That's
So that's
right.
top of mind for me. What's top of mind for you?
Amazing. The 2 things that immediately jump to my mind are ChatGPT agents.
That's also that's yesterday.
That's right.
That was
It is-
crazy.
That's
I started
very
using
recent.
it this morning.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, continue. Perplexity
yes.
Comet also comes up with that.
Yep.
Keep going though.
And Moonshot AI K2, K2.
I know nothing about this.
Okay, amazing. I feel like it's a bit crazy. It's like it's a Sonnet 4 level model that's like 10 times cheaper.
Holy shit.
And open source.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a DeepSeek. I think they trained it. They like RL'd it on Claude Code.
So actually, the only thing I've seen about this
Yeah.
is that apparently there is a way for you to sub out the default model in Claude Code to be the Moonshot AI model.
That's right, which is
Yeah.
pretty non-standard. Is like they
Right.
have an Anthropic compatible API.
That's crazy.
And I think it's just so that people can use it in Claude Code, and it's very good.
Interesting. Okay. Anything else?
No, those are the 2.
Okay.
Those are the 2.
How about this? You pick one. I pick one of those
Okay.
5.
Okay.
What's top of those 5 topics for you?
Windsurf one is interesting. I think that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, the Windsurf one is interesting. The effective one is good too. Let's start with the Windsurf one. I think that's
Let's do
a good
Windsurf
place
one,
to
and then
start.
I'm actually going to put in a vote for like agents Perplexity. I think that's
Yeah.
timely and relevant. So let's talk
Okay.
about that next.
Amazing.
All right, let's do Windsurf.
Yeah. Well, who got the better end of the deal? I think that's the.
Did anyone get a good deal? Is the real question.
That's right.
Except for the Windsurf founders.
I
it
think
seems
everyone's
like.
pissed off. That's that's the given.
Yeah, unless you are someone who walked out with hundreds of millions of dollars
That's
individually at the
I feel
expense of
Well, I feel
the
like they're
hundreds of
pissed off
people you
too.
hired.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're pissed off? Because OpenAI didn't close?
Because everyone hates them. Like
Yeah, well, that's kind of their fault though, right? That's like
Right.
the astronomer AI, like
Right.
HR people, like
Yeah.
whole thing happening. That's like, okay, look, you can't blame Coldplay
Right.
for doing something incorrectly. Like,
No.
if you are the Windsurf founders, you
Right.
can't blame the world for being mad at you for doing a shitty thing.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and now they hire.
Oh, sorry. What can you guys lay out in like 2 lines what happened?
Yeah, that's a
I
good point.
obviously know.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is good prompting. So
Yeah.
for anyone unaware of, I mean, honestly, if you don't know about this, I question what rock you live under. But essentially, a crazy viral thing has happened, which I have mixed feelings about talking too much about, because they are real people with real families.
Mhm.
But essentially, the astronomer CEO, astronomer.
No. I was talking about Windsurf.
Oh,
I
you're talking about
followed that,
Windsurf.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I don't care about the Coldplay one.
Okay,
Yeah.
how about this?
Yeah.
If you want to know about astronomer, just Google Coldplay astronomer. You will
That's
see it.
right.
And if you want to know about Windsurf, just Google Windsurf acquisition. You'll also see it.
That's
But
right.
the context of what happened is that Windsurf had was a $3 billion deal with
Mhm.
OpenAI for an acquisition,
Yeah.
which was also its own dramatic thing because OpenAI tried to buy Cursor
That's right.
and then failed, and then was like, we'll just settle for the darling child Windsurf.
Mm-hmm.
That deal had gotten stalled, aka blocked by Microsoft because of the Microsoft majority stake in
Mhm.
OpenAI for all the underlying IP and rights. And so that was being slowed down or potentially just completely killed by lawyers, legal red tape. And then, in the midst of these still ongoing negotiations, we didn't know for sure the deal was dead. Microsoft was just being a big bully. Google came out of nowhere and essentially paid $2.4 billion for the rights to the IP for Windsurf, and then hired away the executive team, which means, just for everyone's context, that the executive team of Windsurf went to Google, got massive multi-million-dollar payouts, and I think it's 200 employees from Windsurf who joined a company primarily predicated on the fact that their equity would one day be worth something, and probably took pay cuts from other huge companies to do that, were just left hanging. And then Cognition came in and saved the day. But saved the day here really just means gave people jobs at a company that was like, imagine your ship is out at sea. You have the destination on the charts. Everyone knows where you're going. And then all of your captains overnight jump onto another ship and no one can navigate. No one knows where you're going. And you're just left to strand or die.
Wow, a very apt metaphor for Windsurf.
Also true. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think my read is Cognition got the better end of this deal.
Cognition's the only winner in the situation, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's maybe okay for the Windsurf employees like have a good maybe good landing spot. But yeah, I think it does mean like Devin actually has a good place to kind of you do have these kind of vertical IDEs now.
Right.
Cursor's going with background agents. Claude Code, I imagine, is going to do something and at least like have a web interface, or kind of like they're doing the GitHub action now. So
right.
All of these companies are trying to get more surface area. It makes sense for Windsurf to kind of go into that more agentic stuff.
Yep.
It makes sense for Devin to kind of have a place to live.
A proper IDE to live in. Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. It's like I think it makes sense for both parties.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think it makes sense. I guess here's my other follow-up question.
And
on
you
this
have
topic.
200 engineers with a chip on their shoulder, just like ready to
fucking
fuck
crank.
over. Yeah, exactly.
Ready
Yeah,
to
just
destroy.
Right, and those are the people who are actually doing the work. You don't have.
Yeah.
They're not. The people in the corner kind of just ideating. They're actually building stuff. So.
Shots fired.
That's right,
Shots
right.
fired.
Yeah.
Well, this leads then to my one follow-up question on this topic that I think is interesting. Drama aside, dust settling. There's really three major players in this space today now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's now, let's just call it Windsurf Cognition, Cognition Surf, who knows? We still have Cursor as the primary leader, and we do still have Codium, right? As like a...
Yes. Codium is Windsurf.
Codium, yeah, but was there not a branch of Codium that people are still operating and using at scale? I could be wrong about
that. Do you mean
that.
Windsurf, like just Windsurf the editor?
Yes, exactly. That's
Okay,
what I mean.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think OpenAI has Codex. I think they're like pushing. They have.
Do you think they're going to release an IDE soon?
I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's interesting. And I do think Anthropic is just a player here.
And then there's also
even
Claude
at the
Code.
model layer.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Where do you see the dynamics of all of these agentic AI coding tools following your own predictions in the next 6 to 12 months? Because you're at the forefront of all this stuff.
That's fair. Well, the other drama besides the Windsurf and Devin one was Kat and Boris from Claude Code going from Anthropic.
Oh, that's right.
To Cursor.
Anthropic to Cursor, back
and
to
then
Anthropic.
in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. And joke's on them because I never stopped using Claude Code. So
yeah.
There
you go.
Yeah. Well, it does seem that the IDE is less and less important.
Yeah.
I think it's a good place to start. But even in Cursor, right, they're pushing towards background agents. They're kind of pushing it outside of the IDE. So it's hard to know exactly where that's going to land. I do think even in the agentic side of things, Claude Code versus all of the other tools in that space, Claude Code seems like it's out ahead, but these things flip on a dime. They really change
do
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do like the concept of kind of having this Unix level utility that you could actually swap in and out models. There's another fork called OpenCode. It's built by the SST founder, but it's basically like a Claude Code harness. Just you can swap out 100+ models, and
Yep.
I don't know, like that's a pretty good idea.
That's cool. I hadn't heard of that. That's so interesting. Yeah. That makes sense. I feel like any other thoughts on the Windsurf, Anthropic? Let's just call this AI talent wars drama.
That's right.
Yeah. There's also the Meta Apple drama, aka poaching top executives, running people back and forth.
Well, I mean, I think all of this ends up being very worker friendly. This is like it's a great thing for employees.
Yeah, it's a great time to be AI talent, is what you're
right,
saying.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's an interesting dynamic. The thing that is still not surprising, but it just is part of this is the AI research component of these companies tends to be very highly valued, and just unclear to me like how much it actually matters that these two things are united, right? Like Windsurf getting split up, maybe those should have been two separate organizations. Like this is not
that's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah, exactly.
I think OpenAI has done a great job of melding these two things together, where things like ChatGPT probably did need to be built by the same people doing the research on the models, but
that's true.
I don't know. It's we're getting to a point where maybe these things can be a bit more split.
I think that makes sense. Nice. I think that's actually a good segue to topic number 2 then, which is, speaking of things all getting launched at the same time, things flipping on a dime. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I forget the timing now because time is a fickle concept, Perplexity released Comet, and I was an instant fan. First browser that I've tried where I just like could not go back to Chrome afterwards.
Really?
Yeah. It was frustrating. Versus like, I'm a tinkerer. I try all the new things when they come out, whether or not they are meant to be used. And for example, no offense to the browser company, I tried Arc. I really tried for like 2 weeks to love it. And it just was not built for me as a power user of Chrome. So then I ditched it. And I know Arc still has wonderful supporters even at the company. They will like come for my neck whenever I say that I think Arc is not a good browser. I also tried Dia when it came out. I also tried Brave. I've tried all these browsers. Ultimately, I always go back to Chrome. I've been using Comet for like since it came out basically, and I have not even had the inkling of a desire to switch. And there are so many things that I can now do in Comet that I could not do in Chrome before, that it would like superhuman style, I would be deeply disappointed if I had no longer had access to Comet. And then also I started playing with ChatGPT Agent this morning. I still need to go deeper, but maybe that would change the equation for me actually, because it is better than Comet's browser agent at doing specific tasks, but it's not native. So anyways, that's just my quick take on it. Sure. We can dive deeper into it. What are your thoughts? Have you been playing with it?
I haven't used it at all yet. So this will be, no, I'm
interesting. This is the flip. This is why it's fun for us to talk.
No, it's I'm an ardent Safari user. So
I remember your Safari user. That's right.
I know, it's so annoying.
Even Peter over here in the corner is like, what are you talking about? Did you see his face? I wish we had the camera on Peter's face. Pure disgust. Peter's face went, what?
I think it's just an area where I value speed over all else.
Yeah, that's fair. That's crazy.
Well, and when you get a text, it autofills, the multi-factor authentication.
That is cool.
That's
actually that is a good reason to use Safari.
Yeah.
But the extensions, man.
By the end of this, we'll have convinced everyone. It's
doubtful.
Okay.
Sincerely doubtful. Okay.
Comet,
well then.
So, well, first, actually, can you explain what is the UX of Comet?
Here's what I think. This is basically going to be an ad for Comet in a second. Here's what I think is so brilliant about how they've built Comet today. Essentially, Comet is just Chromium, so it has all the best parts of Chrome, which I really love. So don't fix what ain't broke is part of it. The best part of it is that there is now a native AI chat bot experience, but it's also hooked up to your entire browser as context and has access to all of your tools. So I'll give you examples of like 3 workflows that I now use daily in Comet that have changed my life. Sure. I just hit Option A to open up the side window. And then I tell Perplexity every morning in this Comet browser, hey, go through my email inbox, figure out what are my most urgent internal emails I have to respond to, figure out any meetings that I have to get booked, and figure out any other emails I'm a blocker on or media requests and offers, and then give me a digest email by email with each person in header. Like I had to work this prompt a little bit to get the structure that I want.
Sure.
And then essentially it logs into Gmail because it's already authed in. It then goes and does the work of reading all the unreads in my inbox that are action-oriented because I have a separate AI labeling system. and then it gives me a digest. And sometimes that digest is like 2 to 3 pages long. Sometimes it's just 1 to 2, but it's consistent and it like helps me get to the inbox zero that matters, which is making sure I'm not dropping the ball on anything important. Even better, I tested this earlier this week and it worked perfectly. I actually don't have to go in and respond to all those emails either. What I can do then in the Comet Assistant is I just whisper flow dictate to Comet and I say, okay, for the email from Steve, tell him that the meeting can be booked anytime between Monday through Friday next week. Go ahead and look at my Google Calendar and try and propose times where I have like still 2 to 3 hour chunks free. For the email to Varun, tell him, I don't care. Do what you want to do, Varun. I know you're going to do that anyways, right? For the emails to the education team, leave these couple of comments. Also go back and reference what I probably said in the Notion page on that document. Here's what that page is called because I know it off the top of my head. And then I can basically just audio respond to all of my emails in a single thread. And then what Comet will do is it will take those like wisps of thoughts, construct emails based on my style, tone, and text, put them all as drafts, and then give me a whole stream of them to review, and then say, here's all the emails I've drafted, any edits to any of them. And I'll like maybe make 1 or 2 edits again via Whisper Flow. And then I'll just say, I'm good. Go ahead and send them all. And it does it. It's crazy that it works. It's insane that it works. Like I truly do not type a single thing in responding to my email now. And out of nowhere, like Comet could now be a superhuman killer.
That's right.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I actually haven't opened my superhuman all week. I've just been using Comet. And sometimes it gets a couple of things wrong, but I've noticed if I just switch the default model to Opus, it's working fine. And then they just added Grok 4 this morning, which,
Amazing.
Separate conversation.
That's right.
That's another thing we can talk about.
Right. Your emails are going to be spicy.
Some people seem to love Grok 4, some people do not. I have not played with it yet, so that'll be a topic for when we're on next week.
That's right.
But like that's one massive use case. And before I get too much into the Comet love, like what I'll also just say is like 2 other ones that immediately come to mind. Peter actually knows about this one. We make all of our course scripts and all of our video scripts for education in Notion. We use a teleprompting software to help with those scripts called SpeakFlow. There is no native API or integration between Notion to SpeakFlow. It's garbage. It means that I have to manually copy paste everything from Notion to SpeakFlow, but I need to keep it in Notion because it's a better communication editor style. Both, however, are web-based apps. So I can just open up all of the SpeakFlow tabs and then open up all of the Notion tabs and tell it, go through every single lesson sequentially in Notion, copy paste the script into a new tab in SpeakFlow, and then add a label. And it took me like 2 attempts to do it. It got it wrong the first try, but then it got it right the second try, which is still crazy. And then my final personal one is I'm going to Burning Man in a couple of weeks, and there's a whole list of things that I need to go shop for, and I know what those things are. I was going to spend an hour just going through and clicking and finding all the ones that I need to. I just told Comet, run through the list, add everything to cart, add the best price, use the brands I've used last year because I know it has my Amazon order history. And it did it. It did all of those things.
Amazing.
It's crazy. So anyways, that's my brief comment.
Wow. Yeah.
Comment
And you're not worried about it just kind of going off on its own, not not asking for confirmation because it has all of your accounts in it and everything.
So I actually will say I'm not, because I can tell that they've explicitly put in guardrails on like don't take actions until explicitly prompted by the user. I'm honestly starting to get to the point where I'm annoyed by that.
Right.
I actually I wanted to just go do it, like just go buy it for me.
I always run Claude Code and dangerously skip permissions, like just let it do anything.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think eventually my philosophy on these things in general is that there's the privacy wars as well. Am I nervous about Perplexity having access to all my information? And the answer for me is like, Google had it before. Who do I trust more? Google or Perplexity? I don't know.
Neither.
Neither. But the choice is not actually mine. Like all these choices around privacy are often false choices, in my opinion. And I also think that even if you have the real choice, like you want to use DuckDuckGo and you want to use whatever the true privacy-enabled browser is, it's not worth the cost of optimization and efficiency ultimately. Like I don't care enough about my privacy to fall behind the rest of the world 10x speed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think that is an interesting tension for the future, but
yeah.
We'll see.
Interesting. Yeah. I remember, a couple months ago, people were trying, kind of when MCP first came out, like people were using the Puppeteer MCP for kind of a workflow like this. They were just like, it was a little clunky because it would, Claude would take a screenshot of a page and then it would do some stuff, take another screenshot, and you'd see all that. And it's like, it kind of worked. A
little bit.
Right. A little bit. It's probably better if you kind of get the right context and you kind of do the context management, you do the context engineering, and I'm sure the Perplexity team did a great job. So it makes sense that this would be valuable.
Yeah, it's super, super useful. Yeah, that like browser assistant is crazy. And it's all like, once you auth it into a tool, it knows it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It still gets things wrong, to be very clear. Like it is definitely still early,
Yeah.
but it's the first like browse. And I'm now starting to imagine how a browser agent having all of my browsing context is super helpful.
Yeah.
Like there's even ways in which I probably could be using it better. And I think that will be the interesting thing for the Perplexity team is how do you actually build sticky habits with users for a new era of browsing? For example, like, I still watch YouTube videos, but I have to like remind myself that Comet can actually just take the transcript, summarize the video, give me the distillations, and then maybe even take me to the timestamps that I want. Like I remembered that watching a 3-hour video yesterday, an hour into it. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I found that 20% of this valuable. So like those are tricky things. And I think, there's a lot of ways it could go wrong.
Yeah.
And also, like, this is what I meant by, last week, dude, I was convinced that, like, Perplexity is so far ahead of everyone else. I thought OpenAI and, like, Anthropic were way behind.
Right.
And then OpenAI released agents yesterday.
Right, yeah.
And I was
kind
like,
of out of nowhere.
Literally out of nowhere.
Right.
I wasn't expecting it.
Right.
And at first I was like, is this just Operator dressed up as another marketing launch? But I tried it again this morning to do basically those 3 things that I was talking about.
Yeah.
And it did also do them.
Amazing.
So
yeah.
Now it becomes a like business model plus use case question, right? Like if I'm already paying for ChatGPT and I already have access to agents as a result of my plan, do I want to pay the $200 a month for extra Comet access constantly?
Sure.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
So that's part of why I'm going to do a deep dive today and tomorrow, basically.
Yeah.
And be like, what should I keep using? And the tough thing about the AI race right now is that the answer is maybe still like, I don't know, maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Until one actually emerges the clear winner.
Sure.
And it's so hard to keep up.
Right, you're going to end up spending $800 a month on 4 different subscriptions.
Yeah, well, see, I can't afford to do that. That's part of it. And like, most people probably cannot afford to do that. But we need to still like be on the cutting edge to figure out where to get to. So,
yeah.
Time check. It's like 20 minutes, 5 minutes ish, and I guess they want to show you that.
Oh, amazing. We got the clay crayons.
Should we put those? Should we get those in here?
Right. Yeah.
Wait.
Those are pretty cool.
Those are very cool.
They're very cool.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'll do it back. What color, Jeff, of these 3?
Oh my gosh, the pink one clearly for sure.
All right, I'll take the blue one.
Okay.
Now we can just talk holding these.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the whole plan.
That's the whole plan.
That was.
We could have like a crayon war.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. Or maybe like every time you say something I disagree with, I poke you. And then every time I say something you disagree with, you poke me.
We should just play the podcast in reverse, where it's just like we start with these and progressively they just go away.
That would also be good.
I was gonna say that's actually a good wrapping up point because it's been 20 minutes.
That's fair. Oh, we can also do that. I'm down.
Cool.
That works.
You guys have a title for this yet?
No.
Clay. I have no idea. I'm
You know what's
fixated
a
on the
good
crayons.
title that we were gonna use for a show that we killed is Unprompted.
That's right.
Oh, that's such a good title. We should totally do that. Yeah. This is so off
You
script.
can
Yeah.
steal it if
Can
you
we
want.
steal it?
Let's
I like Unprompted.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Genius.
You guys want to say anything? Like, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We'll bring these back next
Thank you.
time.